Oh, is it streaming already? Okay, didn't even give me the options to go live. Wait, what's happening here? Okay, so when you just do a live and you don't do like a scheduled, it seems very weird. But hello if you're watching the VOD. We'll see if this is working as I intended to. But this can be the Warhammer Fest Day 3. Yeah, watch along. Just to see, you know, like it's the Age of Sigmar and something else. Okay, yeah, I'm live. There we go. Yeah, in 5 minutes it's going to start, and I think I might paint a little. Oh, while we're waiting. I wasn't actually planning on doing this live stream, but I woke up and it's kind of like, you know what? There's like 40 minutes left until the live stream. Well, I got out of bed, I should say, 40 minutes ago. I didn't wake up 40 minutes ago. If we're going to be technically correct. Oh, good. So it should start in 4 minutes. And what I plan on painting, I was thinking like, maybe I'll paint by Seraphon. But these guardsmen, like 5 of them right here, are pretty close to being done and kind of want them off my desk. So I'll paint them. And also have the colors for them right here. They're a bit disorganized because my mom cleaned my room and she destroyed my organized chaos. So what do I need to do on you guys? You know what, I'm gonna do the plasma on that guy. Don't tell me that my shake painter... Okay, there we go. I was like, Jesus Christ, is my shake painter broken? And why did I pick this baby blue? I want like a... yeah, I'm just gonna do like a blue, I think maybe like Lothern blue. Do I have that somewhere? Here we go. Gonna start with Lothern blue. Because I want to try and figure out a way to do... Wait, where are my palettes? My painting palettes. Oh, there we go. One of them at least. They have been moved. Alright. Yeah, this stream, at least here in the beginning, is gonna be a little bit like fucky. Put some blue. Okay, that's way too much blue since I'm just doing a tiny amount on the this sergeant's plasma pistol. Okay, 1 more minute. And there is no stream up. Wait. Are they not doing a stream? What is happening? Okay. I will see. They should start in 1 minute. There we go. No. Oh well. Might as well just start painting. So if you guys are painting something, what are you guys painting? I'm interested in knowing. And kind of like maybe like what would you want to paint? Because my goal is to finish both my, well, finished army maybe not, but finish the models I have for my guardsmen, my Seraphon, and my Daughters of Cain. Oh, there we go. Now, watch. Whoa, hello you two. Okay, so they're starting with the Age of Sigmar preview, and that's good. It's kind of like the one that I'm interested in.
Welcome to Warhammer Fest 2023. We are here at the Warhammer Age of Sigmar preview. I'm Eddie.
Hopefully the audio is good.
And we're also joined by 800 people. Can you give us a cheer? Yay!
Because I haven't actually checked.
As well as thousands of people watching along live on Twitch. Alex, how is your Warhammer Fest going so far?
It has been absolutely fantastic. I was able to sneak into the back of the Warhammer 40,000 preview right at the start of yesterday, and obviously I was here for the Underworld's Warcry and Middle-earth one. What about yourself?
Yeah, I mean, I will say the day 2 reveals were pretty underwhelming. I didn't watch them live. I just watched them, you know. I was planning on making a video on that when I was doing the day 1 like reaction. But
here we are. Here's us. So
no,
I
didn't.
I'm joined by Alex. Before we get
I kind of started recording that, and then
some previews.
when I saw like,
no hobby going on at the moment.
No point.
I'm making a little diorama for my Soul Blight. So I'm a massive fan of Cursed City and all things dead, basically. So I'm doing a little terrain piece with houses in the background.
All right.
Very cool, very cool. I've been painting up some crew
Eddie, the Squig Herder, and Alex, the Stormcast.
You're an orc at heart.
I really like orcs. I hope there might be some.
I think the Squig Herder would be fun to hang out with.
We'll see how we do. Right, would anyone like to see some new miniatures? Right, okay, we'll jump straight in with our first video and have a look at some new models that are on their way later this year.
Okay, they're showing off the cities of Sigmar, that's cool.
Grab a flask of Gyronite wine and join in telling the tales of our people. For in the morning, we ride to war, and we ride for vengeance!
Oh, it looks actually pretty cool. And they are normal horses. Alright, okay. I actually like that helmet. It's very like shaman in my mind. Cavaliers. And pretty simple name, Free Guild Cavaliers.
These are the Cities
well.
of Sigmar Free Guild Cavaliers. We've had a little look at some of the infantry on their way for the Cities of Sigmar, and this is...
Yeah, we saw 3 models of the infantry,
Alex,
and they were okay.
Cavaliers?
Ooh, well these guys are... Well, these guys are fantastic. Sorry, a little bit of noise from outside. So you can see there, they're aesthetically very similar to each other. So heavy knights, cavalry, armor, that kind of thing. But they're each individual. They're different heraldry, there's very different styles. You can see from the helmets there that these guys, they come from different parts of the mortal realms, different cities, and they've all been gathered for a purpose. And with the Dawnbringer Crusades going out
hopefully you can kind of like easily make it so that they're pretty much from the same. Yeah, because probably it's like one command, maybe that guy is more of like a life.
Nice flat surfaces on there as well, so you could certainly paint them very quickly if you wanted to. And
this brush is too
have
big.
A unified force. But if you wanted to kind of go to town on them, you could absolutely, have each one with very personalized heraldry, a little bit like you've got there, with some unifying colors to kind of hold them all together. So.
And I should really have turned on the light. I have no light other than natural light that's shining through my blinders, and it's making it hard to see when you paint.
Ancient,
I didn't think about that.
Medieval knight aesthetic a little bit.
And as you mentioned, the infantry that we showed off a little while ago, you can see how they fit in really well with the army. It's the same thing. The theme is all there.
So I'll see how this
very clearly from different
plasma gun
and these ones are a lot
turns
more
out.
as well. And you'll see that as we show you guys more of the Cities of Sigmar stuff as we get more of it out.
Okay, wait, did he say sisters or cities?
And a little bit of heraldry, and that's about it. These ones have each.
I mean, I would assume he said cities because that's what they're showing off. But
and then as we see more and more impressive characters and units and things, they might have even
it really
more
sounded like Sisters of Sigmar.
There's a lot of very Warhammer features,
which I get would be a cool like part of the Cities of Sigmar. I don't think I would want them to be like their own army. I think I would like them to be like
that thing that's really been missing
a part of the Cities of Sigmar army.
We've had Stormcats for ages,
so that if you wanted to run a whole just Sisters army, you could. But they also work as, just specialist units or something.
The old Empire Knights, so you can. That's
the
glow
normal
up, basically, that you've got there, and you can see that there's a little bit of homage there to some of the old barding and styles.
The curve in the barding on the horse, that kind of thing.
Yeah. And I have those old Empire Knights.
Very cool. So there you go.
I have converted them to Rogue Riders for me.
This army is on its way
or Rough Riders. Rogue Riders, Rough Riders.
But we've got lots more to tell you about. The next video is about the next big narrative.
I think it's a good kit.
In the Mortal Realms. So let's
They're showing something else. We start off with ominous music, so could be anything.
It has been many months since the Twin Crusade set out from
Okay, so more cities.
Chanting only the
Hammerhall.
faithful. There, what do those born behind? Call them no offense. Only those.
But these are the dregs of society. Thieves and murderers.
Oh, are they gonna be like flagellants?
And the impenetrable jungle
Cursed from the very beginning.
Tribes abandoned by Sigmar still live. Out where we might claim.
No one said this campaign would be easy,
Where other horrors
but
lie.
none expected this hard.
Witches. This is
They're like, no one said it would be easy, but this is too hard, god damn it.
Tell them to march on.
We are Sigmar's chosen warriors, and even we
For the dark gods demand
Turn light to the darkness.
Dawnbringers, okay. Yeah, Dawnbringers are kind of like the hunters, right? I think like one band
Dawnbringers.
was called that, right?
Have a round of applause. Why not? Why not?
So this is like a narrative.
Dawnbringers is the next major narrative for Warhammer Age
Alright.
of Sigmar. This is a story that
That's a nice
two
scene.
huge crusades that are setting out from the twin city of Hammerhall, one into the realm of fire, one into the
The
realm
realm
of
of
life.
Yeah.
A huge narrative that will cover
I
all
think
the different
Hammerhall is a really
alliances and loads of
cool-
different factions.
I
One of
don't
the
know
things
that
we
much
can
about
tell
it, but
is that it
I
effectively
remember
runs two
it
massive
well from the
crusades.
different a
One
lot
of
of
them,
stuff.
into,
But specifically, I
one into
remember it
Skyrim.
from the
One of
God
the
Trek
crusades will succeed.
book,
One of the
audiobook,
crusades
the
will
first
fail.
one that they
But
did
you
on
don't know
Age of
which one.
Sigmar.
as we
when
start.
Gotrek
So you can
first
kind of
comes
follow along,
into the
you
Mortal
can join in with
Realms.
the campaign and the narrative. You can kind of root for your chosen
It
crusade.
was that book, right?
One of them will,
Where they explain when he
effectively meet a horrible
visited
demise.
Hammerhall.
Alex, anything you want to tell us about this?
Just one
And
little
then
thing, going back to that
they were
picture,
doing the thing where they were bringing in, like, I think, like lava or something from the realm of fire to push back the forest in the realm of life, so it doesn't eat up the whole city. So they were kind of like using the lava to just push back the forest, or like maybe not the lava, maybe like the fire or whatever.
In that of Hammerhall Gyra as well.
Yeah, I think one of the things that's important to say about Dawnbringers is that we haven't really had the chance to tell this story until the Cities of Sigmar release happened, because almost the main narrative of Age of Sigmar in this edition is this idea of these huge crusades setting out, and the bulk of the crusades is made up of mortal troopers, humans for the most part. So now that we've got this faction, they can actually play.
Okay,
narrative, which they've always
maybe the humans make
implied
up the
we've never been
biggest
able to
part of the
explore
Cities of
before.
Sigmar, but I hope
The
it's
more,
not just
tooling
humans
art
in the
for you.
Cities of
So,
Sigmar army.
There's some,
Because the
hints of
cool
some
thing about
places
Cities of
and things
Sigmar
you
is
might
that it
see
is like a
as we go
multi,
into this.
you know,
the first book in the Dawnbringers series,
the
will be
multiracial
this one,
book.
which is
You know, you have
Harbingers,
dwarves, you
multiple
have
book series that will
elves, you
span,
have humans,
multiple
have, you know.
stories and touch on lots of different factions and different
So I would like
races.
to keep that.
So there you go. So there will be new miniatures accompanying this for over a dozen factions, and we'll have a look at the first of some of those miniatures just now. So we're going to jump into.
Alright, so a dozen, at least a dozen,
Sounds good.
are gonna get some new miniatures. Well, that is a dwarf with 2 hammers. So maybe I'll get what I wanted. It's gonna be like, oh god, those eyes. Alright, wait, so this is a Fire Slayer. It looks pretty cool. I mean, the Fire Slayers really need new things, not just HQs, but they need something. Yeah, the eyes looked very, very weird.
Here we go. So this is a new character for Fire Slayers. This is a Grimhold Exile. Alex, what do we know about Grimhold Exile?
Yeah, so Fire Slayers are naturally hard.
So an exile.
They have to be to run around wearing so little.
So it's a bit kind of like
And
the.
the Grimhold Exiles basically take.
It really reminds me of the.
These guys are the last
I guess the
survivors of their
current,
race.
what they call Grombrindle model, the old. It was a Slayer, right? A Slayer model.
So these guys,
But instead of 2 axes,
you know, the
or
fall
did
of
he
their
have
hold,
1 axe? I think he had 2
they've
axes.
taken it upon
It's like 2
themselves to use the
hammers.
sacred flame of that hold and strike out in search of vengeance. And one of the things that often happens when these guys
And I mean, if you don't paint him with, you know, the ginger hair, the orange hair, you do it more of like a brown, like a blonde or a black. I think he will look pretty good as just a Slayer. Except for like the nose that is inspired by, and that model also looks amazing. That's kind of like a revamp. I hope when they say new minis for 12 for a dozen or more chapters, dozen or more armies. It isn't just 1 HQ. Come on.
Of some really classic bits of Warhammer Fantasy art as well. There are some options in this kit too, so you can either kit him out with a bell, so you can sound the approach of Nurgle and Plague, or you can give him a scythe, because it's just always nice to have scythes.
Always good.
Alex, what do you know about this guy?
So these
I think the
guys are
scythe
heralds of
is
despair,
cooler.
sort of cloaked in foulness, blessed by Nurgle. They plied their trade for centuries.
looks great. I love the horse.
Mortal realms for who knows
It's
how
very
long.
like,
But
just
now
looks like a
quite
very
many
diseased
warforged
horse,
sort
you
of
know.
in form.
It doesn't look like over the top,
Warbringer Crusades
like a
going on.
monster
But some
horse.
nice little settlements that are
That's a
eager for
sick
Grandfather
dead
Nurgle's
horse.
Peahc. And so basically,
Then
this
he
is
has a
such
little
massive thing to
crow
be
or
in
raven.
but
friend.
One of my favourite things about these guys is that the Plague God's followers are usually quite jovial. You've seen the Great and Clean one with his big smile and little,
happy guy?
Yeah, but there's another side to that.
dancing around,
The
he's
less
funny.
jovial.
But this guy is very dour, and so the other forces of Nurgle kind of, you know, maybe they don't push
Which
him
I think
around.
is good to have
Send him off. Maybe
He's
you should go
not
talk to
part
some
of
other
the
the
people.
different, you know.
Okay, cool. I think
They have the
miniatures
jovial
are
and the
one of the
very
best miniatures of the year so far.
sour
Absolutely
and
beautiful.
sad.
I think I would be very surprised if
It's
gold
good to
came
have
together
both
on-
of them.
Right. Okay. So
Because
that's
I like
order
both
and
when it comes to
chaos.
Nurgle.
Let's have a look at
I
what.
mean, Nurgle is my favorite Chaos God. And I don't just want like sad or just happy. I want a mixture of both. Alright. Gloomspike Gits. Nice seeing them get something. With these bat squigs.
There he is. This is a rabble rouser for Gloomspike Gits.
A rabble rouser, so it's there to rouse up the boys or the Gits.
Hits when they came out with Warhammer Underworlds. So you can imagine these little squigs clinging to the underside of caves and things.
But yeah, in Molog's
The rabble rouser's
mob.
job basically
Yeah.
is to kind of fire up the crowd of the forces of destruction ready for a battle. They probably don't do all that. Kind
Looks
of
cool.
firing, but
Has
it's
the
nice.
troll head around him.
Anything else you want to say about this guy, Alex?
He's possibly the most stylishly dressed grot in the Mortal Realms, with that giant squig skull on him.
Yeah. Anyone looking for cosplay next year, by the way?
Oh,
Is it the squig
Seems like a
skull?
hit, doesn't it?
But yeah, these guys,
Okay.
most grots, they're kind of along for the ride.
Thinking that maybe it was
This
like
guy,
the
as
troll
you said,
skull.
He gets everybody roused up. He wants to just get the job done. He's in for a scrap. So he uses a mixture of sort of like insults, encouragement, and zealotry to rile everybody up and send them great distances. But you imagine that a little grot's squeaky voice is probably, you know, not particularly encouraging. So there's maybe something else going on here. Maybe blessings of Gorkamorka, or I'll leave that up for you to find out.
Well, he's brought a very big jaw with him, hasn't he?
Oh, yeah.
He can kind of project a bit.
Yeah,
louder.
to help
I don't know
him
what squigs sound like.
get his voice out.
Have you played the...
Be like, look, I killed this squig,
Oh,
or
so I'm
whatever,
very
you
good at
know.
it.
What's the sound when one of them hits the target?
Do you wanna
Like a
fuck with
boing.
me?
Yeah, that sounds about right.
All right, cool. All right, so we've seen 3 of the Grand Alliances. Let's have a look at what Death have brought along.
Just quick to see all the things. The Herald of Death. Alright, yeah, it's kind of like how they did, oh god, in 2nd edition, when they did these 4 heralds. Yeah, okay. They're doing that again. Flesh Eater Court. Alright. So Flesh Eater Court are getting some new stuff. But it's mostly in forms of just HQs and like
for the Flesh Eater Corps.
Warhammer Underworlds, war bands and stuff like that. Like small units.
Some stuff. This new character, he is an emissary of his king. What would you like to tell us about this guy?
So yeah, the Marrow
The
Scroll
King's
Herald-
Emissary.
Marrow Scroll Heralds basically go out and they muster the peasants for war. So the king can get his knights and his court together, but these guys go from village to village and round up the peasants. In reality, he's a flesh-eating ghoul that goes from village to village and spreads his ghoul madness. He thinks he's, you know, an honourable emissary going with his little staff, preaching about, you know, the righteousness of this conflict. He's
But
covered in trinkets. In reality,
instead,
it's
he's
just
like
bones and
taking a bite from a few people here and there.
but he believes it so much that even if you're just within his presence and hearing what he says, you start to believe it too. So those who
Oh,
are
alright.
particularly weak-willed might even succumb.
Yeah, very cool. So, I mean,
So he
all of
actually
these characters
spreads
are
his
interacting with
delusion.
This idea of these huge crusades that are going out into the realms, and they're basically like pitching.
He's like a religious
Yeah,
preacher.
lots of recruiting opportunities.
Yeah. So, one thing to say about all of these characters is that in Dawnbringers, there'll be new regiments renowned for every Grand Alliance. Regiment renowned is effectively like an allied formation that you can put into your Age of Sigmar armies. There will be a regiment.
Oh
of
god,
renown
it
for
looks
each
terrible.
Of the
My
if you have a
plasma.
Flesh Eater Court's army, you can definitely just take the model and put it into your Flesh Eater Court's army. But if you have a different Death Army, Chaos Army, Destruction Army, Order Army, you can add these regiments of renown into that force. So we can have a look at exactly what's in those boxes. So if we start off with the
Furies,
Chaos and
Flamebearer.
Order.
Okay, it's the new model.
We've got the Shudder Hood for Forces of Chaos, led by our new Harbinger.
Like
and
2 other
the,
units.
Flame Bearers. Anything you want to say about these guys? Alex?
Yeah, so you can see that it's
Right.
Full Goth's Shudder Hood and Fury's Flame Bearers. So these are the named versions of those characters, and they feature an awful lot in this book. So a lot of the lore comes either from
Yeah, and
the
then you
perspective
can
of
choose to
Odin,
not take them as
perspective
named
of
characters as well.
Cool. Then here are the Forces of Destruction and Death. So squig heavy box, everyone's going to enjoy that.
Oh, yeah.
And then a whole bunch of ghouls.
Yes,
Yeah.
ideal for going along if you were going to grab that Warcry warband that we showed off yesterday.
Yeah, so a few more things to tell you about what's going on with Dawnbringers for fans of the lore of Age of Sigmar in particular. So 2 important things are the Path to Glory rules for Warhammer Age of Sigmar, which are the main
Alright.
kind of way that you engage with the gaming element, I suppose. of
And
Dawnbringers.
War
They will
Age of
be
Sigmar
available
fiction.
free online. So if you want to play Path to Glory, you don't need your big core book anymore. There'll be a free download to access them. And there will also be brand new fiction for Warhammer Age of Sigmar. So if you want to kind of read some stories and follow along what's going on,
Yeah,
with
and
the
it's probably
narrative,
gonna be
you
its
absolutely
own
can.
site
This
like
is
they
a
did
really
with
big
the
narrative moment, I suppose. For
The
the more brands
Potents,
of
what's it
Age of Sigmar.
called?
We're going to give you loads of ways, whether you want to enjoy it
Mortal
through gaming, or you want to kind
Potents.
of enjoy the lore.
The whole thing where it was like death.
And just to say,
I remember
the rules
that.
for those boxes are in this book.
Great. Okay. Cool. So I think we hinted a little bit that we might have some orky stuff.
I mean, if it's on the same level as that, that's good. Because I actually really liked that part of Age of Sigmar's second edition.
There's some quite cool stuff coming along with that book. Let's have a look at.
Because it's kind of like was a point where I was like the most into Age of Sigmar. I would say like 3rd edition kind of took me out of Age of Sigmar a bit. Kind of like how 8th edition did to me with 40k. And 9th edition did not manage to get me back in. Oh, nice! Some new Iron Jaws. It took me like a second. So they're also going for the Gruntus. They're like the pigs. Probably so that you could easily convert them into 40k. Is probably why.
I think they like it.
I think it's fair to say the video team had some fun making that video. So let's have a look at this guy up close. This is an
But it
Iron
looks
Jaws.
great.
Here we are. It is.
That looks cool.
This
Yeah,
is
if I were
Iron
to get a
Jaws more
destruction,
grunter. It's for those
little
people
small
who are
thing,
looking at
I
the
do
Iron
think
Jaws
I
army
would
and
get
they're
like
"It's
Iron
pretty
Jaws
unsubtle,"
or something.
But it's just not unsubtle enough for me.
That's
I
it.
want something even brutaler, even less, finesse.
Maybe give
I
us
want
like
a massive,
some more
massive pig to
pictures.
charge into the middle
Like, at
of the
least
enemy
do
army
4
and send them flying. And here
views,
it is. Here it is.
He's got
of the
little
models.
sidecars as well.
He's got some little sidecars, yeah. So it's a huge monster. You don't really get a sense of the scale of it from this shot necessarily, because
I mean, yeah, you do. Look at these orcs. These are big orcs.
So we've got a picture of it next to the current Gore Grunter, which is already quite big. So this is, it's a big monster. This is bigger than a Stegodon. It's kind of like, it's a big old base. Anything you want to tell us about a Maw Grunter, Alex?
Honestly, I'm not sure. It's a giant sword.
Actually,
I can't imagine being hit by
the
one
thing
of
that
these.
we can see off the
Yeah,
mouth
so a
of
few
this
things to note about this. This
creature,
will
I
be,
really
a
like
multi-option
how it
kit.
looks. I like the
There are a few
fucked
different
up
ways to
teeth.
assemble this.
And
If you
the
just really,
teeth are
really
fucked
like
up in a
big
good way.
pigs,
I don't
you
know
can
if I
build this
like
in a
the
few different
slime
ways.
trail
So you
right
can
there
have,
between the 2
characters
teeth.
on it. You can have it as like a monster unit option. You can lean very heavily into a kind of
But
piggy theme, a kind of grunter theme.
in
for
case
your
you're like,
army.
I
If you
don't.
want
Well,
some
you could
cavalry
probably
and
easily
some
clip
big
it off.
monsters, you can absolutely do that.
Very cool.
Pretty cool.
Yeah.
That might be my favourite model of the Fest reveals.
It was certainly
Sure,
my
it's
favourite.
cool and all, but
Certainly my favourite.
So you know what?
Fest reveal.
It makes it easier if
Cool.
you want to
Okay,
paint
well,
it as slime.
That's the models we've got to show you today. We do have a bit of a roadmap.
Instead of doing,
to
like,
run through
glue
what's coming
tricks
up
and
for
stuff.
Warhammer Age of Sigmar in the next few months. So let's take a look at what's on the horizon. So there we go. As we know,
The
we
Seraphon
have,
book.
Seraphon Battle Tome has come out in its
And then the
special edition, in the last
Dawnbringer
week or so. We have Harbingers, Book 1.
Is that in
of the Dawnbringer
Autumn,
series
Cities
is
of
on its way
Sigmar, and
very,
two
very soon.
Dawnbringers?
And we have a new General's
I mean, I don't
Handbook
think
that we
I don't
have in
like
summer
these
as well.
like
So all of those
campaign
releases in
book
summer are only a
things,
few
the
weeks away.
supplements
In
things
autumn,
that they
we have a
do.
much anticipated Cities of Sigmar Battle Tome will be landing
Because I
on us,
mean,
along
like
with all the
3
models we've
months
seen
after
and
the
a whole
books
bunch
are
of new ones
out,
that we're gonna,
they're like
share with you over the
worthless.
coming months. We've got Book 2
Everything
of
in the
Dawnbringers,
books
which
have
will
been
have a very
changed.
heavy destruction theme as the Twin-Tailed Crusades kind of hit some.
But I do like how
obstacles as they go along.
the
And
narrative
Book
part
3,
of
which
it.
is yet
But
to be confirmed.
I mean,
We have another battle tome on its way in winter.
well, it is
With
Age of
all
Sigmar, right? So
Dawnbringers,
maybe the rules
obviously
will be
there's
free
some,
in the
a
books.
little bit of mystery
And it's
about
kind of
what
like
some of
just
those
something
are,
if you
but
want
some
them
things
in
to
one
bear away.
place, buy the
To
book.
look forward to. Yeah, yeah. Pretty cool
Otherwise,
stuff. One thing to note is that all the Dawnbringer series will touch on.
because I don't
every
like,
customized
for example,
model
you have
with
Seraphon,
releases for
your
over
book,
12 factions.
and then let's say in book
Right.
1,
If you're watching
they're
on
like
Twitch, that is the
Seraphon
end of our
rules that
preview
are
stream.
not
Thank you
in the
ever so much for
codex.
watching. I hope you've enjoyed some of the models we've got to show off. There's some
Yeah.
cool things
I
on their
mean-
way. So thank you for joining us. If you are in the auditorium, you will now have a chance to ask some questions about.
All right. That was it for the Age of Sigmar reveal thing. Come on, if I can. There we go. Or did something happen? Yeah, I was expecting it to be a bit longer, actually. So I would say this was a pretty bad reveal. They just showed a bunch of like HQs. Well, I guess, and then one. Well, I guess they showed the Cavaliers. Yeah, no, still, I think it was pretty bad. And especially how it just ended. Felt very weird. But, it is what it is. I'm probably not gonna stick around to watch the Old World one. I'm not really that interested in the Old World. But I will do a video after just checking it out, you know. And the preview. You know what? Let's see if we... Can we get some more? They haven't even updated the site with what they revealed for Age of Sigmar. Yeah, it feels like something went wrong because they haven't really done what they normally do. Oh well. Thank you for watching and goodbye. Oh no, wait, what did I like the most of the reveals? Well, I think I really like the Iron Jaws like model. I think that looks very fun. But I would need to see more angles from it. And well, they haven't given us any angles. I mean, I will say the angles they even gave us for the 40k one starter set, you know, the models. Like you only get one angle, and like in that angle they're like hiding like 30% of the model behind stuff. Like what? Yeah, so I think this year's Warhammer Fest has been very, very bad when it comes to them just showing the models themselves. It's kind of like they're trying to hide the models for some reason. But yeah, that is my opinion.